they cause a problem.
Yeah.
Because guess what? As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth.
Wow.
They have authority.
Yeah.
They have the right hand of fellowship. They have the tabernacle in them.
Yes.
So that's what they see when they see us.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
And then just a few, because there's always been many tabernacles throughout time.
Right.
So don't get it twisted. There's only one that was in Jerusalem, but that was the most, I would say the most important one, because the most important one is your body.
Yeah.
That's the most important tabernacle.
Come on now.
Now, but the other tabernacles he had was the Garden of Eden. But you already know what happened to the Garden of Eden. They went into sin, and they fell short of the glory of God, so they got kicked out. But we always been trying to get back to Eden.
Come on.
And Eden, the word Eden, all that means is being in the presence of the Lord.
Yeah.
That's all Eden means.
Yeah.
So they got kicked out of the presence of the Lord.
Amen.
So for those who knew the original presence of the Lord, that had to be devastating.
Right.
I know like when they kicked me out, maybe go live with my else when I was in high school. Like, I'm ready to go back to project. I love you, but I want to go back home. And everybody, I'm glad they sent me to California. First to Alabama, they sent everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody else back before me had to go to Alabama when they got in trouble.
Right.
Thank God for California in the military. So I went there instead.
Right.
But that's what he said. They got kicked out the garden. And another place was Salam, the city of peace. That was the second one. That was the second tabernacle. And it's been written, and the thing so wonderful about it, Melchizedek is only mentioned once in the Bible. But he's mentioned in the Canaanites, in their book that they got. He's also mentioned by the Pharaohs in some of their books. They call them different names, but it was all that priest. And they all ask, like, who this dude, who he think he is? We just got armies behind us, and he just got a city full of priests. No, who he think he is?
Right.
So they went and talked to him, and he came like, what's up? What y'all want to do? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know who I'm with.
Right.
And he was the only spot in that time period that nobody messed with.
That's right.
And it wasn't because they had a big physical army. It's because they had, like I told you before, he had authority behind him. So all the pharaohs, all the Canaanite kings, all them dudes, they was like, no, we ain't gonna mess with you. You gonna do your thing. We not, we okay. You took all our gold from that robbery from old boy, but we not gonna, you can keep that. And that's basically how it broke down. Because they was like, no, we don't want that smoke. And that's what happened. And then the next one was Shiloh. Y'all remember when they was in the wilderness and Moses said, hey, I need to build a tabernacle. So he went and built a tent in the middle of the tabernacle. That was a tabernacle for the Hebrews of that time period. Was that tent. But that tent, which was right in Mount Sinai. And y'all remember when I did the study with y'all a while ago about Mount Sinai, what Mount Sinai represented. Mount Sinai represented the valley of sin. But where Moses went with the Most High in that cave was the only holy place in that area. So what they had to do was, he said, I'm gonna need you to build a spot right here in the middle of all this chaos so everybody knows that I dwell here.
Yeah.
Leave this alone. Now you know, they say wilderness, but it's hard to have over 1 million people anywhere.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna bump into them sooner or later. But guess what? Once again, they had that authority behind them.
Yeah.
Because he was working on them. Like I told my nephew, we were talking the other day, I said, during the civil rights movement, that's when they had their great awakening, the second, third great awakening, when everybody started coming to self. And then just like those 40 years they was lost in the wilderness, fast forward 50-some years, 40-some years, that's what we are now. But our remnants, our children, was to be Shirai, Messiah, Keon,
Right.
and her, the little bitty warrior. I know what she is. I'm trying to build her up. But her, those are going to be the people. Their kids are going to be the ones because they hearing this word and they're going to give them this word. It's going to be their kids that's going to inherit the kingdom and stand strong and going to stand on it. And not going to be afraid. Because guess what? They're going to have that power. They're going to have that same steadfast authority because they getting the word. We got the word, but we're not really standing like we should stand.
Amen.
But them kids, they're going to be fearless. They fearless now.
Amen.
But they got to be fearless in the word of God. So they be fearless in the word of God. And the thing is, you might get a family here that might be saved, the person that might be saved, but until the whole nation, the whole nation of Hebrews be saved, that's the only way we're going to reach, we're going to get back to in God's good grace.
Amen.
That's why you see all our young ones being killed in the streets. That's why you see the drug is rampant. That's why you see the prostitution. That's why you see all the different things that's rampant, because as a people, we're not there yet. And my definition was like, well, Willie, how we know we're going to get there? When we going to get there? You know, how everybody's one time not going to pray. I said, but it happened before. And the Most High said, I'm not respecting persons. So if it happened before when they was in slavery before in Egypt, if it happened for them again when they was, you know, coming out of, when Abraham was coming with his brothers now, it happened for them then. If it happened for them, they was coming out of bondage over in Syria and that last bond they had before the 10 tribes disappeared. If it happened then, when they all came with one voice and said, okay, you got us.
That's right.
I submit.
Yep.
Not just I submit, we submit.
Amen.
It happened for Joshua, just like she just told you the other day, nephew. I see you as Joshua. I see you building a nation. It happened for him. And what they say, everybody in this house is going to worship the Lord. Everybody. I don't know about you in your house.
Everybody.
We're going to worship the Lord. So what them
house.
Hebrews did, what they call it in etymology, them Hebrews, them river crossers, they crossed the river, they came strong authority and took over Canaanites. Where originally, where Melchizedek was there, where he had his spot at, that was Canaanite land. Where he had way back in the days. He had that way before they even came. So all he did was prepare a place for them already. You see what I'm saying? Joshua, God gave us that, but at the same time it did that. Just like when we crossed what they call the ocean, that mighty river, what they called the slave songs. I want to go back over Jordan, because that's all they knew in their heart was Jordan. They want to cross over. Just like when we always leave Mississippi, what they do? They crossed over the Mississippi River.
That's right.
They crossed over the Chattanooga River.
That's right. That's right.
They crossed over the Wabash. I'm trying to go north. I'm trying to get up out of here. But we study being river walkers. I mean river crossers. And then you had the New Jerusalem. That's the Jerusalem that's going to come back when the Most High comes back and all his, how can I put it? Everything has been met. All his conditions for a new earth, for a new worship, for a new fellowship has been met. Then he's going to have a new Jerusalem. And that's where he's going to build his name at. And then with the Proverbs, with it being in your heart, it says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. And that's Proverbs 4:23. Hey nephew, pass the other one out. Now this is another one that gives you another booklet, a little hand pamphlet. It didn't really come out the way I wanted to, but it's showing you once again with your right hand how to address the issues in the books of the Bible. And I thought that was pretty good, pretty neat. But it was just something I wanted to share with the family, with this church family. And then it also, once again, look at that thumb, which is Yod. That's the power. And that Yod, that has all the books of Moses in it. That's all the then right there in between the thumb right here, which is that gripping hand right between your whole hand. That's the gospel. Because that's what you initially get that initial grip with when you grab something. Like when you're shaking somebody's hand, that's that initial grip. That's what the gospel want to be at. And then the first thing here is the history. All the books are the history of the Bible, the books. And then it got another history, the minor history, which is Ruth, right in that valley right there. And then it goes on to the big next, the third digit, which is the poetry of the Bible. So all the Bibles that talk about the poetry of the Bible and different things like that, that's in that finger. And then in the fourth finger is what in that valley in between the poetry, right after the poetry is the epistles. So that's all the epistles, all the epistles that they had in the book, which is like about 10 or 15 of them epistles. And then we have the major prophets, and then the last finger is the minor prophets. So when you look at your hand, even though when they canonized the Bible, they didn't realize they was doing all this. They didn't realize this how this was going to manifest itself, but that's how it is. So that's a good way when you look at the Bible to break it down, just look at your hand once again. When you want to look at what God got for you, just look at your hand again. Just feel what's inside your heart, circles inside your heart.